Hi guys, and welcome back to part 2 of this lovely cabin picture. Hopefully you've got all your tools and you're raring to go, and let's start. It's all ready to go. So I think we'll start now with the cabin. Now we've done the sky and we've done our lovely bushes. I think we're going to do our cabin now, and again you could get your pencil and you could really find where it's going to go, but we don't need to. We're just going to, first thing we're going to do is just sort of block in the colour of the picture. Now we've got a lot of light browns and dark browns and blacks, and there's some highlight in there, so I think the first thing we'd do, we'll get some of these darks in there first. So I'm going to just wipe my brush. So I'll go into a bit of thinners. Obviously if your brush is new and you're just starting, you're ready to go, then you won't need a cleaner, but I just want to make sure mine's nice and clean. And I want to go into a little bit of thinners. Just a touch. And I'm going to go into some dark sienna. So it's a sort of reddy colour. It's nice. I love this colour. Bit of that, and we're going to add a little bit of Van Dyke brown. So Van Dyke brown, dark sienna, and a little bit of thinner. Spin this around. Touch of white. And I'm also going to add a little bit of the red, so it gives it a nice sort of red tint as well. So they're all mixed up together. So I'm going to stick some of the dark in now, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow this line down here and down this way. It sort of comes down like that, down to there. So I'm just going to fill this bit in first, this colour, just pulling it down the same way as what it would be in the picture. Again, it's a little bit brown, so I'm going to go into some, add a little bit more brown with that, just to darken it just a touch. There we go, let's bit up. So just dark. Go, nice. So just get that in there. That's the first thing, just get coloured down. Okay, so we've got sort of dark on there, and then I'm going to go back in and just sort of checking out where the darker areas are on this picture. So we've got sort of dark there, and we've got some dark this sort of side really, which is very similar. Yeah. So we're going to put this in there. And also we're going to do all the highlights and bits and pieces that we're going to do afterwards, but the main thing is to get these colours in first, a little bit thinner, okay, and then down here, cuts down there. So just sort of really, I'm just sort of filling it in. That's what the main idea is at the moment, is just filling in blocks of area just to make it easier for you. So the first thing is just get this blocked in, and then we can add colours afterwards. I'll go a little bit of thinners, mix it around, a bit of brown, a bit of red, dark sienna. Okay, so I've got some more there. That's a bit lighter. This is much lighter. So we've got here, so we've got come down. So I'm going to add, yep, just add a little bit more, a little bit of white in for this now, and I'm just going to take that across this way, the roof here. Because this is progressively lighter, and I can always put a bit more dark on in a minute. I don't want to go too dark to start with, just make it different tones. Just pull this across for the moment. I'm going to use some more of that colour down here as well. Putting this down. So really, basically what I'm doing is I'm just using like lights and darks, really, different tonal effects. Got different lights and darks. Again, I'm going to blend it in as well. This is a bit darker, so I'm just going to. I'll put the light on now. I'm going to go back into this darker colour, and I'm just going to put that over the top, so some of it will show through, which will add the effect for me. And again, when I push down with these little flat brush, I don't care if it's a bit uneven, the lines are a little bit uneven, because it will add the effect of the actual panels itself, so which I'm pleased with. So I'm just going to take this across here. Obviously this comes up this way as well. Like so. And then we've got down the side again, which is a sort of different sort of colour which comes along here. Thinners. Like so. And then we've got this roof up here. And again, I'm going to do it so it's lighter, so I'm just going to wipe the brush, and then I'm going to pick up the same colour, but add a little bit of white in there, because obviously I want it light first, so I'm going to take this down, across, add a little bit more white in there. A bit more white, put it down from the top. Like so. There we are, so we can see what we've got. So now we've got our sort of basic shapes full in. I'm going to start from the top and work down, and again you can redefine this. Again, this probably needs to be a bit more this way, but again this is our own interpretation, and at the end of the day I'm not very good at drawing but it's a bomb. So the first thing I do, I'm going to start on this top bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do along the edge with some dark, just to define some areas on this roof. So I'm going to get a few bits of a little bit of thinners, go into some tissue, white my tissue, and as lines are running down this barn. So I'm going to just go into some Van Dyke Brown on its own, pull out some Van Dyke Brown, I'm going to stick it over here. I want this to be like a sharp chiselled edge. I'm just going to run lines down the roof, okay, running from the top. This is where if you've got a little bit of wood, it would help. But I'm literally just going to run lines, very thin lines, down. Hopefully they show up on the video. They look like they do. So basically just keep getting some brown. Hold it very lightly, very thinly, just start from the top and just do some lines. And if it stands out too much, you just pull over it again and they will disappear. Lots and lots of these lines. It looks a bit like corrugated sheeting though, I suppose. So you've got these little lines coming down. Now at the top it's dark, so I'm going to get this brown. I'm actually going to, at the back edge here it's darker, so I'm going to put more at this top edge here. Just this top edge. I'm just going to pull this down. And then from the top I'm going to touch, pull down, touch and pull down. So touch, pull down, touch, pull down, and pull down, you're pulling down the same way as the slope of the roof. So literally you're just pulling this down like so. So it's creating this shadow on the top of the roof. Okay, and then we're going to darken it obviously with some black, but that's the first part. So I'm going to get a little thin brush and I'm going to go into just some black and I'm going to spin this around, literally just spin this about, and then I'm going to go around the outline of this. So I'm literally just going to go around the edge of this like so. Go into some more dark, a little bit darker up this point here, so I'm just going to put a bit more dark in there and just literally just pull it down in places. A little bit dark there, so it just sort of pulls it down a little bit in places. And the back edge there is again very light. Come down here, and back edge, and then we've got a bit of dark along this part here. So I'm going to, where it defines the different types, so I'm just going to run this across here. This gives us a bit of a dark spot there, so you can see that. And I might add a little bit of white into the roof in a second just to make it really pop, but we've just got this dark edge here. We've got a nice dark edge down there, which I'm going to put in now, which is this fine edge there. So that sort of breaks that up. I'm just going to add a little bit of white using my flat brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into some white, pull it one way the other way, and then actually going to start from the bottom. We're just going to flick it upwards, so touch and flick it up, and that will create like a white haze, like a shine or a white haze. A bit more on this edge, touch, flick up. So it gives it a nice white shiny part on there. Okay, I might just blend that a little bit. That's it. Yeah, I'm happy with that bit. Okay, now I think we'll come round to, actually while we're here I might as well come round to this part here. So it needs to be a bit darker. I notice it needs to be a bit darker on the edge there. So I'll get one of my brushes. Yeah. I'm just going to put a bit more dark, so I'm going to go Van Dyke. Oh, that brush is good. Van Dyke brown, and some of this red, and I'm just going to touch this and pull this up here. Take some of this dark colour, so some of the red, some of the Van Dyke on this back edge here, where it's darker up this edge. So nicely, good. Okay, so and then I'm going to go round that with the brush, a little liner brush, some black, a little bit of brown, black and brown, spin it around, and I'm just going to put a bit of along this edge and along here, so it runs down here. And again, it doesn't matter if your hand's a bit shaky and it's not a perfect straight line, because it's a barn, it's an old barn, so it's not going to be perfectly straight. These lines aren't going to be perfectly straight, so I need to put a line underneath here, like so. It's underneath there. We're going to put a window in, and we're going to put a few lines along the side there. So I'm just going to define that back edge, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do little like C's around this back edge there, because as if they're logs. So I've done little C's. Okay, now on the front edge here, it's like little logs. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some of this dark, and we are going to do little circles on this corner. Little tiny circles. You may not be able to see that on the video, but I'm going to highlight that in a moment. And what we can do is little tiny lines again down the sides. So what we're going to do is use this flat brush again. Just going to give it a clean. And I'm going to get some, this again, this light, very light brown, just a touch of thinners just to make it move. But I just want this to be a nice chiselled edge. Okay, I'm going to do the same again now. This runs from down to there, so I'm going to run little lines going along by using a very sharp point with the brush. You can run that way or that way, so again very very thin lines going across like so. Pulling these lines across. So you've got lots of little lines, and we define this part up here. We can use a finger or it doesn't matter really. I've got lots of these little lines there, look like actual logs. I'm going to put a window in there. Find a little liner, some black and some brown, and just here I'm going to put a little bit of square. More dark. Like so. So we've got a little door in there. I might get a little bit more dark just on this corner here. Lovely. And I better redefine these parts here. So basically I'm just going to do little circles like that, and then I'm going to wipe my brush, and now I'm going to get some white, and on the edge, very edge of these, I've sort of done little circles so they look like, it looks like little cabins. Okay, so that's that part. So we'll look back and see where we've got to go. Okay, so I think as we're progressing across, we might as well come across to this part here. Looks a bit more complicated, but nothing too drastic. Again, it's just a question of putting all these little lines and bits and pieces in. So the lines on this one, they all run down. So we're going to use this little bit of light colour. Using the very fine part of the brush, I'm actually going to, it's got like a little door in there, so basically we'll put the door in first. So what we're going to do is, the lines run like that, so I'm just literally just going to touch the canvas, so the lines run that way, and then I'm going to do a line coming down from up here, and then a bit wider I'm going to do another line there which comes up to about there, and then there's a line that goes across and there's a windows above it. So I'm just going to put this line in here first for the chisel part, and then I'm going to get some dark and light, and I'm going to do lines going across this way. Hopefully you can see that in the video, these little lines that I'm doing across up there, and then we've got a big line coming down which comes down from this part here, that part there. Okay, now obviously I need to redefine the door, so I'm going to use my dark mix, black and brown. And on this edge here, I'm just going to put that down there and across this way. That's a little bit of dark here. Like so. So just so you sort of see the outline of the door. And then we've got loads of these little windows. So I'm just going to, a little bit of thinners, black and brown. Well, it's sort of like ink consistency. Okay, and then you've got like a row of these, so basically they run all the way along this part here, and you've got one there, one there, one there. So let's just put those in. So basically I'm just putting lines down to start with, just to show the frame of the window. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to darken them up and then put light. So I'm going to get some white. I'm just going to run some white, just looking at the reference picture, on top of this black lines that have gone down. Okay. And then I'm going to darken the windows in with a sort of grey colour, just like so. So again, it's sort of grey colour. I'm just making these darker, putting down a bit more dark mix. And again, when you do this, you could spend a lot of time and obviously a lot more detail than what I am doing. Again, I'm just doing this so you get an idea of the technique and what you can do. we go. So we've got our windows done there. And then I'm going to come across, and I think I'll do this top part up here. And again, we're using the same way, don't we? So to mix up a little bit of colours, I'm just going to get a little bit of white in there, and I'm just going to pull some of this down, just like so, from the apex. Just pull it down here and there. So I just want to change flavour, as we call it. So just run a little bit of white and a little bit of this light browny colour in there, down. So it just changes it. I'll wipe my brush. Just a touch of thinner, and I can come up to some brown, some of this Van Dyke brown, and a little bit of the red. And again, I'm just going to do lines coming down very lightly. Just going to probably start from the middle. Just pull them down, and they will look like lots of little logs. Pulling them down, and then I'll get my little liner brush, some black and brown. And this will start darkening. There's a little window up there. I think we'll put a window in first. A bit more black. A little window. There's a sort of dark apex part here that sticks out. So this sticks out there, and then runs down that way. I'll stick this dark in here. Oh, didn't want to do that. Right. That's fine. A little bit dark down here. On this edge. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of dark along this here, just a line like that, and then I'm going to get my brush and I'm just going to flick upwards. So that dark, I'm just going to touch the black, I'm going to touch it, and I'm going to pull it up, touch it and pull it up, and it will blend up and create this dark shadow above this door here. So let's get this door done. So I'm going to use a liner brush again, just a little bit of thinners, get the black and the brown, and then I want to come down the side here just to define this sort of side, and then we've got a dark up here. On the top, and then we've got a couple of doors, sort of doors, barn doors. It has got a sort of a, this one's wider than this one, so we've got a line that sort of runs across about there, like so, and then I'm going to get some more dark mix, and then this is smaller than this side, so I'm just going to run this down there, a little bit of dark, like so, just to sort of define what we're looking at really. And then we're going to use the same trick as before. We're going to get the mix a little, just touch of thinner. I'm going to get my dark brown. I'm going to bit of light as well. Make sure I've got quite a bit of paint on the brush. And then these ones at the top, they run this way, the sideways. So I'm actually going to run these lines going across like that. Okay, and then I'll redefine them again in a minute. And then they start going down the other way. So I'm going to get some more paint, And then I'm just going to run lots of little lines all the way down now. Again, don't worry if your hands are shaky, because it will add to the effect of what we're looking for. So a lot of people say, oh Mark, my hands are shaking, you know, I can't do this because my hand's shaking. It really doesn't matter, it really doesn't. The thing is that you're having a go and you're really having a try, and that's the most important thing that there is that you're actually having a go and giving it a try yourself. A lot of people just wouldn't even try, wouldn't bother. So I'm proud of all you guys that are having a go at this. So now we've put our little, these bits went across, now we're down. Again, we need to redefine it again. So I'm going to go back into black, brown, and then we're going to come up here. There's a bit dark along there, and then I'm just going to pull a few of these down, a few lines of dark ones. And again, I'll use my finger and just blend down a little bit as well. A little bit of dark up there. Again, you've got more time than me if you want to do this exactly the same. So I'm going to put my little windows. So this is a dark area under here, under the window, and it runs down like that, like so. And then we've got a couple of windows here we've got to put in on this side, and they are the same sort of height, and they come down in a sort of bluey colour, which is great. We got blue, so I'm just going to sort of lightly mark out where they're going. There, and then I'm going to wipe the brush, and I'm going to go into a bit of this light bluey colour, because they are sort of bluey colour. I'm just going to stick some of this in here, light blue colour. Hopefully you can see that on the video. It's just a light blue, probably add a bit more white to that. It is actually quite light on the video, it's on the actual picture. Like so, and then you've got one, couple of little windows there. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to do a black line between this glass, little dark browny black line that runs through the middle and along the top. So that's got a little dark line as well. Again, it's just a interpretation, loose interpretation of what we've got there. So I will add a little bit of white, just a little bit of light. I like to just on the edge there, just to define it a little bit. So hopefully it stands out quite well on the video. And again, you know, you can keep putting lots of these little lines in with the darks. You can spend hours and hours and hours on details if you want to. You really can spend hours and hours on the detail. So going back to where we got so far, and now we're onto this side bit here, and again on that edge, on this edge, what we do little half circles sticking out and around, as if they're the cabin type logs, And then we get our brush again, and we're going to go into this mix again, just a touch of thinners, a bit of white with it to change the colour, make it a little bit lighter. And again, the top parts, they actually come down. There's a line that runs along here, believe it or not. There's a line that runs along there, and they all run down this way. So I'm going to do all the lines from here, running down like that, and then I'll put some more colour on, and then there's a door, another door in there, and then we'll get some more colour, and then I'm going to run all my lines again from here going across this way. Add a bit more dark in there, just a couple in between these, like so, just to break it up a little bit. Door there, and we'll put that in with a liner brush. Bit of dark brown, black, and a bit of dark there. Change that. That's the edge. Yeah, there's a little bit of light on there, so I'm just going to get a bit of light on that bit, just to pull a couple down. There's a few light ones across here. A couple of light ones at the bottom here. So I'm just literally got some white on my brush and I'm just flicking it, and these ones have got white on top. But I let this dry a little bit before I did this on top, otherwise you'll get mud pie, and we don't want mud. So I just added just a few little white ones here and there. You can add a little highlight there even. So I think that's the sort of barn cabin sort of shape done for now. Again, you could spend hours and hours more detail on there. So I think what we'll do now is we're putting some grass areas. So we're going to our brush, and we need a nice sort of light sandy colour, so a little bit thinner, and we're going to use this, what we was using earlier on. I'll have some white, nice light, and a little bit of Van Dyke brown. So a little bit of Van Dyke brown, some white and some thinners. A nice sort of light colour, and then I'm just going to literally just put this in around here, and I'm going to let it blend in up to the colour that we had before. Just going to blend this all in together. I'm just going to run it up into this sort of greeny colour, just let it all fade into that. Same this side, it's dark at the top and then it runs lighter, so we're just going to get this lighter mix and just run it up there, take it right up, putting this down, and I'm going to take this right up underneath here. Now when I come up to the barn, I'm going to sort of pull it away from the barn, sort of the slope I want it to be. I mean, it's fairly straight on there, but on this side it would be pulled away like so, and if you pull a little bit of the colour with it, it's fine, because it will act like a bit of a part of shadow. So that sort of pulls sort of this way, sort of like the lay of the land, sort of running this way. This is all sort of virtually straight, so I can actually just sort of take it like that into there. It makes no odds really. So I'm just going to take this across like so. This is nice, and I'll put a few little bushes and things in there. I'm just going to get a bit more white. I'm just going to add a bit more white on top. There's a white band here of colour. A nice sort of white part here, nice bright part. And again, right up here, there's a nice sort of white part here. And around there, it sort of fades off. Just where the light's hitting this side, we want it to all look true. So then we need some more dark now. I'll just fade that off. So I'm going to go into the greeny colour that we have, which is a sap green, a little bit of this white, and as we come down it's progressively going to get darker. So I'm just going to put this in here. Like so. And as we get down I'm going to add more black, especially this side. This is really dark down here. Like so. Mix that in. Okay, I'm just brushing one way the other way. Don't brush it down, brush it sort of sideways on, because obviously we need to go the way that the land is running. Down here, a bit more dark there because it's even darker than some Van Dyke as well. Got some dark areas here. Good, and then we'll just blend that for a moment. Okay, I will use a blender brush to blend more. We just want to get some of this dark down here, and then we'll put some more colour on top. Basically my crisscross strokes again, and again I've got light areas, dark areas, so it's like creating an illusion of different land. And there's my brush. So I've got my mop, and I'm just going to do crisscross strokes just across here. Like so. Okay. Right, now I'm going to got some nice greens and so on. I'm going to add a little bit of texture, and I think we'll use a texture with the little round brush. And around here we've got some light areas, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of white, a little bit of this sandy colour, so Van Dyke brown, white, and we've got sort of some sandy sort of colours all around here, especially down the side here. So what I'm literally just going to tap lightly, light area. Just going to tap. So it looks like some sort of road. Along here. And I'm going to run this all the way along actually. Okay, I'm just tapping very lightly along here. And then we've got some areas down here. I'm literally just going to very lightly tap this up. More colour, and here, just to tap a bit of colour in here, sort of foliage bits and pieces. And then there's some greens. Now I'm going to use again another flat brush. Get a little bit of yellow and green. So sap green and yellow. Give it a tap, and along here, literally, I'm just going to touch the canvas. I'm just going to pull it up. Just a few, that's a little bit light. So I'm just going to add a little bit of dark into that. A few places, just flick it up. And along the line here, we've got a whole line along here of just this dark. Literally I'm just flicking up. Just so you get a faint sort of line coming along there, and there's another one running along here. So I want to go into the colour again, just under here. It runs all the way up to the side of there. Just pulling it up and just touching and flicking all the way along, just to give like texture. There's like a hedge or a band of colour along there, just sort of along that part along there. And as it comes down, I might do a few more here and there, just to add a bit of interest. And following the land, obviously if this is running this way, I'll do a bit more here. I'm just going to add a few more bits and pieces. And then add a little bit more green, I think, to the colour there. So down here's a bit lighter. So I'm a little bit, perhaps a little bit of thinners. And then just down here, I'm just going to run a little bit of green across. So it actually goes a little bit greeny in here. Pulling that down, pulling those down. Again, you could use a fan brush if you wanted to add some more texture. I think I like using this little brush, so I'm going to go into some green and some yellow, and here and there I'm going to just bits and pieces. Just to give it a texture appearance here and there. Again, as you get closer it gets a bit more detailed, so we can add this little bit of detail here, and then as it gets away we just fade it away. Okay, again I'm just going to use this brush just softly, just to go over this, just to diffuse it a little bit. Okay guys, so with that said, I think we call that a finished painting. I hope you enjoyed painting along with me today, and it's given you some thoughts of what you can do, what you can achieve in a little amount of time. So that's Mark Terrell signing off with Paint with Mark. Again, if you like these videos, please subscribe, because 70% of you not subscribed. I can't understand why. Just click the button, subscribe, like this and share it. I really appreciate it. So it's Mark Terrell signing off, and I'll see you again soon.